Have you ever wondered what truly drives a genius? What fuels the mind that changes the world? We often picture Isaac Newton as the ultimate rationalist, a man of pure, cold logic, sitting under an apple tree, discovering gravity in a single, clean flash of inspiration. But what if I told you that the very foundation of the scientific revolution was built not just on reason, but on a secret, lifelong obsession with something most of us would consider magic? Welcome to the hidden chapter of Isaac Newton's life. I'm Ibnul J. Farabi, and this is The Great Conversation. To understand Newton, we must first look at his desk, not at the published masterpieces like the Principia Mathematica, but at the thousands of pages of notes he kept private. For every page on optics or physics, there were dozens more on alchemy, biblical prophecy, and the search for the philosopher's stone. This wasn't a hobby. It was his central project. He spent more time in his alchemical laboratory, surrounded by furnaces and strange chemicals, than he ever did in the halls of Cambridge. He wasn't just dabbling. He was trying to decode what he believed was a secret wisdom embedded in the very fabric of the universe by ancient sages. This is where the story gets fascinating. Newton the alchemist wasn't contradicting Newton the scientist. He was the same man. His alchemical work was a search for active principles, the hidden forces that cause change, growth, and transformation in matter. He watched metals interact, dissolve, and recrystallize, searching for the laws that governed their behavior. This relentless, hands-on observation of process and reaction trained his mind to think in terms of invisible forces acting at a distance. Sound familiar? His concept of gravity, an invisible force pulling across the vast emptiness of space, didn't come from an apple alone. It was born from a worldview steeped in the idea that the universe was alive with hidden, interactive powers. Alchemy taught him to look for the unseen connections. And then, there was his method. Alchemical texts were written in coded language, full of allegory and mystery. To decipher them, Newton developed a ferocious skill in textual analysis, cross-referencing sources, and building a coherent system from fragments. This was the exact same methodological muscle he flexed when he took the observational data of Tycho Brahe and the theories of Kepler and forged them into a single, universal law of gravitation. He was, in essence, decoding the manuscript of the heavens. The patience, the obsession with hidden truth, the need to systematize chaos. These were alchemy's gifts to science. So, why is this chapter so often left out of the story? Because it complicates our clean narrative of the Enlightenment. We want our heroes of reason to be purely rational, free from the superstition of their age. But Newton teaches us that genius is not about having a perfectly modern mind. It's about the intensity of the quest, the ability to pour a boundless curiosity into every vessel available, be it a crucible or a prism. His secret work wasn't a distraction from science. It was the furnace that heated his imagination. The drive to find a single, unifying principle in his alchemical lab became the drive to find a single, unifying principle for the cosmos. It makes me think about our own pursuits. We often compartmentalize our passions, believing our serious work must be separate from our quirky interests. But what if, like Newton, the connection isn't a contradiction, but the very source of our unique perspective? Our deepest curiosities, even the ones that feel tangential, train our minds in ways we can't always foresee. They build our patience, shape our questions, and fuel the long hours of the journey. Newton didn't just give us laws of motion. He gave us a lesson in the alchemy of the human mind itself, that from the base metals of all our varied obsessions, we might just transmute something revolutionary. Thank you for listening. This has been Ibnul J. Farabi, and this is The Great Conversation, a podcast by Light Knot Studios. You can find more of our work, exploring the stories and ideas that shape our world, at lightknotstudios.com.